Now on CoastTV News.
Paying to park. Milton locals weigh in on the idea of a new parking fee. Keep it down or pay up. Fenwick Island lays down the law on noise, what the new restrictions look like. And political tension as President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky clash in the Oval Office.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
For a fee or for free, Milton deciding whether or not to enforce paid parking. Good Friday evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight in downtown Milton. Right now, it's free to park along the street downtown, and the same goes for the lot behind the Milton Historical Society. But the town is considering charging people to park in that lot. CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy joins us live from Milton. Brendan, people in town say they've never had to pay to park.
Christina, good Friday evening indeed. I'm here right behind the Milton Historical Society in that lot. If you take a look at how much space there is, this is why people have been using this space. But like you said, it's free right now. The town doesn't charge to park. That's what they're trying to figure out if they should. All the options that are going to be brought to the town council are detailed and have all the finances included. But when we spoke to people who live in Milton that have never had to pay for parking here, they don't want to see that change.
Pay a little or not at all. That's been a hot topic surrounding parking in Milton. And Monday, the town council will see three options for paid parking in town. This time for the lot behind the Milton Historical Society. David Lothar has lived in Milton for more than half a century. He thinks the free parking trend should continue.
A lot of people's in here that's retired and they can't afford that. They can't afford the extra prices on stuff.
The first option is the parking impact fee, with $1 being taxed on every Milton Theater ticket and a 0.5% tax on business sales in town. The second would be metered parking. The price for that is currently undetermined. And the third option would allow businesses to pay for and reserve off-street parking spots. Milton local Tom Fingal says one of the best perks about the town is the free parking.
It's going to drive people away. It is.
But Liz Reyes, on the other hand, is a fan of option number 2 and told Coast TV she thinks parking fees would be a good addition as more people come to the coast.
Change is going to come whether you like it or not. A meter or with your credit card would be a fantastic way to help support the town and have it be able to grow.
Like I said, right now there is no fee to park in this lot, but as you can see, plenty of cars make their way over here on those busier nights, maybe the weekend or when the other spots are all filled up.
The town will discuss the options and potentially vote on Monday at 6:30 during their town council meeting.
Of all those options, the Finance Committee recommended the option 1, which would give a $1 fee to the Milton Theater, as well as a tax to all of the businesses within town. But ultimately, it will be up to all the council members to decide which option to go with. Reporting live in Milton, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
Okay, thank you for that, Brendan. Well, new at 11, Fenwick Island approved new noise restrictions today. The town made some major updates, including how loud people can be and at what times. So noise around town is now limited to 65 decibels or less during the day and 55 decibels or less during quiet hours. Those hours now run from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m., so they're starting an hour earlier there in Fenwick Island. The town of Milton is considering buying 6 lots in the downtown area, and the lots are located on Mulberry Street, Broad Street, and Magnolia Street. Together, they total just under 2 acres with an asking price of $1.65 million. One woman who lives in Milton tells Coast TV she does see potential in the purchase, but thinks the price tag is a little high.
I just really think that they should negotiate the price if they're truly interested in doing that, because I do think the price is high, but I think it would be a benefit to the town.
Now, details on the potential use of the lots are expected to be shared during Monday's town council meeting at 6:30 p.m. And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know, what should Milton do with that land? Let's take a look at the results, see what everyone thinks. 39% say public park. 34% say leave it as it is. Now, those answers switched throughout the day. Still, a few people say affordable housing or the other options, but you can still change up the answers here. You can still vote. It's not too late. Go over to CoastTV.com or use our mobile app. And staying in Milton for another moment, we're just one day away from the Milton municipal election. It's taking place tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Milton Fire Department. 3 candidates are on the ballot to fill 2 town council seats. Also, the mayor's seat is up for grabs. Incumbent John Collier is seeking a second term. He's being challenged by Vice Mayor Lee Revis-Plank, who is in her second term on the town council. Now we're taking a live look outside into Ocean City, and our first alert chief meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us with a look at the weather. Paul, what do we need to know going into the weekend?
Well, Saturday's going to be a warm but breezy day, and then Sunday, I'm going to apologize Sunday right now to you up front, okay? Because people are going to blame me for the weather anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize for Sunday and Monday right now up front, but you're going to like Saturday's going to be more tolerable. So our Irish Eyes camera in Lewis right now, we're holding at about 45 degrees. That's about 5 degrees below the normal high temperature reading for this time of the year, climatologically speaking. And we are expecting for it to continue to stay cooperative for us throughout the rest of the after the evening, rather, with temperatures in the 40s. But we are watching out for it to really start to get cold for us as we go into the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up in a moment. Till then, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Thanks for that. We appreciate it. We'll take a look here at this. It's smoke blowing from a burning pile of mulch in Lincoln. It's been burning for 5 days, and the Ellendale Fire Company has been monitoring it and has now handed this over to DENREC. Jay Jones with the Ellendale Fire Company says there's no need to panic, though.
If you see the smoke conditions in the air, know what it is for calling 911. If you have any issues or problems, we're not trying to deter anybody. If there's an emergency, please call 911. But this specific site is under control and controlled by DENREC at this time.
Now, in a statement to Coast TV, DENREC says the fire is not a construction site fire because construction has not begun there. Well, you may remember yesterday we talked about the city of Lewis considering a new tax for lodging. They continued that discussion today, and they're also looking at increasing the tax on short-term rental properties. The city says this short-term tax increase is to promote good government, the safety, health, and welfare of the city, but some people we spoke with who would be affected by it don't agree.
People that come to rent, they tend to spend money in the community. They go to restaurants, they go to the parks and the different things in the community. So they're actually bringing in more money through staying, and it's going to discourage those people.
Now, if the city does go through with this, the tax will not go into effect until January 1st of next year. Meanwhile, today in Rehoboth Beach, the Planning Commission was busy discussing 3 different hotels in the city. Some hotels are approved, some are not, and one of them is looking to expand. It's really a tale of 2 projects that seem to be going in opposite directions. In Rehoboth, the planned hotel that will sit between Rehoboth and Baltimore Avenue, that was approved. But just across the way, the proposed Bellhaven Hotel has had a harder time. They're actually appealing a decision that is standing in their way.
It's going to take away from the feel of the place, and I'm not sure that's the right thing to do.
As long as they do a nice job, it's cool, although we all kind of miss the old Dolly sign, and, you know, change happens.
Yeah, definitely some mixed opinions on these new hotels there in Rehoboth Beach. In national news tonight, a White House meeting that started out to be a kickoff for negotiation over rare earth minerals suddenly turned into a confrontation between 2 world leaders. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Ukrainian President Zelensky shouting over one another in the Oval Office. NBC's Julie Turskin has details from Capitol Hill.
What began as a meeting to discuss a historic peace deal that could have ended the brutal war in Ukraine quickly spiraled into a standoff between President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and Vice President Vance.
You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
The tense exchange, unprecedented in the Oval Office, the room traditionally reserved for diplomacy, capped off weeks of a public feud between the 2 leaders.
What you're doing is very disrespectful to the country.
Zelensky and European allies uneasy that President Trump is inching closer toward Russian President Vladimir Putin, who started the full-scale invasion 3 years ago.
I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world.
The day started amicably, with Trump and Zelensky expected to sign a deal for Ukraine's rare earth minerals in exchange for U.S. support and long-term security.
We have something that is a very fair deal.
Really, I hope that this first document, will be a first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine.
Instead, it appears President Trump scrapping the plan for now, posting on social media, "I want peace." He disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he is ready for peace. Not long after the president's post, Zelensky left the White House at his urging. And earlier this morning, a bipartisan group of senators, including Trump ally Lindsey Graham, met with Ukrainian President Zelensky. After that Oval Office blow-up, Graham said that Zelensky either needs to resign or change his tune if there is any hope of peace for the war-torn country. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
And we are just getting started this evening. Still a lot more to tell you about. Coming up, real IDs. Yeah, it's still a thing, and you're going to need one for domestic flights. We'll tell you when is the deadline. But first, a new push to hire more air traffic controllers. What the FAA is hoping will help with recruitment.
Take a look at your Bay forecast. We're going to be warm but breezy on Saturday with 63 in Cambridge. Then we're going to stay sunny on Sunday, but cold because a high of only 38 degrees. Your details of your full forecast coming up in 60 seconds.
Clap if you love your shell house. Grace sold us our house in Marsh Island. It was just like instant, we're gonna be friends. We couldn't be happier. We instantly clicked from the second we saw our lot to having each other at our son's birthday parties. It's so comforting to have someone help you through something that can be super overwhelming. Shell is happiness and Shell's home. And Shell is friends. It's friends. I was gonna say that.
What are you doing here? I'm here for your 6-month crawl space inspection. Come on, follow me. I should get out of these clothes. Believe me, my friend, it's perfectly clean down there. I can't stress the importance of having braziers monitor your crawl space. What is there to inspect? Your sub pump, your dehumidifier, and we inspect your whole crawl space for you. You can't beat that type of service, and there's no bugs down here. Which reminds me.
Son-in-law, is my room ready yet? Come on.
Absolutely.
So this week is going to be a little wacky in the sense that Saturday is going to be a nice warm day, but it's going to be so breezy, it's not going to feel all that warm. And then the winds will cut down or slow up for us on Sunday, but by then the temperature is going to tank, so it's going to really feel cold by then. So bottom line is, pull out your winter coat. You're going to need it, particularly by the time we get to Sunday. Our Hershey's exterior camera, Ocean City, we're in the 40s with mostly clear skies. Temps right now, holding pretty steady in the 40s. For example, 43 degrees in the Seaford as well as Georgetown. A little bit cooler in Redden at 42, 45 right now in Rehoboth, and 45 currently at Bethany Beach. We have the winds right now pushing out of the south right now. So the winds aren't so bad now because it's pushing out of the south, and a southerly breeze brings with it a little bit of warmth that kind of trickles right along with it. But we do have some very blustery conditions along the beaches because, for example, a gale wind watch is in effect from Ocean City down to, let's say, Chincoteague. That's where we're watching out for about 35 mile per hour winds. But there's a gale wind warning in effect for the folks in Cambridge, Hills Point, Madison, Tillman. That's 45 mile per hour wind gusts. So that's really blustery. Now, overall, we're looking very clear for tonight. And then, because it's been so dry and the winds have kicked up so much, for Saturday, we have what's called a fire weather watch, which means if you're outside Saturday, particularly Saturday morning throughout the afternoon and evening, you can't have any outside flames or open flames because it could really ignite a whole lot more than what you intend. That's what this is all about. And that same holds true for us in Cambridge and over the Cambridge area as well. We are in the midst of a drought, at the very least a moderate amount of drought for most of the county and a severe right along the coast where you have Lewis and to the north of Lewis. Then the winds are going to stay active. That'll also help fire the fire up, all right? And then we're going to have them pushing out of the northwest by Saturday evening. So the winds start off in the south and they just do a switcheroo coming out of the northwest. And this is where the cold air steps in for Sunday. All this wind coming out of the northwest, is going to be brutal. Sunny on Sunday, but cold, okay? I mean, think about it. We're looking for highs in the 30s for the high on Sunday. For the most southern portion of our viewing area, by 2:30, 33 degrees if we are lucky. Better yet, let me just cut to the chase. Let me give you the punchline. Sunday morning, we're going to drop to 5 degrees and 6 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like Sunday morning. That's the punchline I wanted to give you. Sunday mid-morning, feeling like 13. And even Monday, we're going to feel like 18 to 17 degrees. So there you have it. Grab your coat. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Good news is we'll thaw back out by Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right. Thank you for that, Paul. Well, air traffic at Reagan-Washington National Airport will now come to a complete stop whenever President Trump flies nearby on Marine One. That's according to the FAA. The new policy rolled out in recent weeks requires commercial flights to circle in holding patterns or divert to other airports. It comes just a month after the deadly mid-air collision between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines passenger jet over the Potomac River. The Department of Transportation is planning to supercharge the hiring of air traffic controllers to solve an ongoing staffing shortage. To attract new people to the profession, the FAA is increasing starting salaries by 30% for candidates who start at its academy in Oklahoma. The agency will also cut down its 8-step hiring process to only 5 steps. The DOT says it expects this will speed up hiring by shaving more than 4 months off the old process. And speaking of air travel, an important deadline is approaching. It's going to be here before we know it. In May, the Transportation Security Administration will require a real ID or an enhanced ID instead of the regular standard one. Starting May 7th, you'll need a real ID to fly within the United States and to access certain federal buildings.
Real ID is designed to determine with great confidence that the traveler is exactly who they say they are. Bottom line up front, Real ID is an enhancement of security. Beginning on the 7th of May, 2025, anyone 18 years or older who plans to fly domestically or visit certain federal facilities will need a Real ID compliant identification document.
And you can get your Real ID at one of Delaware's 4 DMVs. They're in Georgetown, Dover, Wilmington, or Delaware City. Coming up after the break, a one-day spending blackout. Activists say it's a show of consumer power, but will it make any difference? And also beware of tax scams, what to look out for while filing this tax season.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
Most Planet Fitness clubs are open 24 hours, so you can work out whenever.
We're coming in early. Staying late.
Whatever works for you.
Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 28th.
I've needed a new left hip for about 15 years. The last 2 cortisone shots I got were bone on bone, and they didn't last 6 months. They lasted maybe a month. I was in a lot of pain. The staff at the Joint Surgery Center at Atlantic General Hospital were incredibly helpful. I was back to work 2 days short of a month, which I found amazing. You learn to trust people when you get good care.
Start your journey to relief today. Atlantic General Hospital. Expert care every day.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
Big 107.7 and 107.1 The Duck are giving you a chance to win a trip to see the Eagles live in Las Vegas at the Sphere. Submit a video of yourself performing an Eagles song to BigClassicRock.com or 1071theduck.com. 5 finalists will be invited to Crawl Street Tavern on March 22nd to sing a randomly selected Eagles song live with Fuzzbox Piranha. The lucky winner is headed to Vegas to see the Eagles live. Listen to Big 107.7 and 107.1 The Duck for details or visit our websites.
Most Planet Fitness clubs are open 24 hours, so you can work out whenever.
We're coming in early. Staying late.
Whatever works for you.
Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 28th.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
The Internal Revenue Service has released its list of tax scams that people should watch out for in 2025. Topping the list are phishing scams, where fraudsters pose as legitimate organizations in the tax and financial community. Unsolicited texts or emails are sent to lure unsuspecting victims into handing out their personal or financial information. Another growing concern involves incorrect tax information on social media. The IRS warns this can mislead people into bogus tax avoidance strategies and sometimes result in identity theft. Well, today an activist group is calling for a nationwide boycott in what they're describing as an economic blackout. As Lee Waldman reports, the organization called the People's Union USA is asking American consumers to not spend money for 24 hours.
No spending for 24 hours. That's the message coming from consumer activist group The People's Union. According to its website, the so-called economic blackout is intended to show them who really holds the power. The effort is led by John Schwartz, a father from New York and founder of The People's Union. In his online bio, he writes, "If we stand together, we don't just demand change, we create it." This boycott comes as some are protesting retailers like Target for rolling back DEI programs.
They respond to one thing: money, dollars. And so many of us around the country said, well, let's flex our dollar power, because that is the only thing they listen to.
Anna Tuckman, a professor of marketing at Northwestern University, has researched the impacts of company boycotts in the past. She says this one is unique because it doesn't target one specific company.
The call isn't to boycott a single brand or a single retail outlet, but it's rather calling for consumers to shut down their spending altogether.
Frustration over high prices at retailers is a driving factor for Friday's economic blackout, but Tuckman says she isn't sure what impact the spending boycott will have on the issue.
There are other factors that influences the prices that consumers face. So whether this boycott movement will have a measurable impact on prices consumers face going forward, my prediction is that it's unlikely that we will see a measurable impact.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Coming up in sports tonight, big news on the Cape Henlopen football sideline. Find out which longtime coach will take over the Vikings program in 2025. And also, flu season may finally be losing steam. New CDC data shows the decline in the virus.
Well, there's been a decline in playing golf because it's been so cold, but it's going to be a little warmer, but very breezy tomorrow. So we're going to call it a fair opportunity. It's going to be sunny, but very windy with a high of 60.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
What if your morning was just easier? At Wawa,
Good morning.
it is. With everything you need to get your day moving. Hi. Mornings made easy. Gotta have a Wawa.
Are you expecting a child or you're the parents of a child up to 5 years old? First Wave Families is here to help you. Through partnership with Maryland Family Network, we offer resources for parents with childcare. All programs are 100% free. That's right, 100% free. We offer parenting classes, mental health workshops, social activities for parents and children, life coaching, and so much more. Located on the campus of Coastal Community Church in Berlin, Maryland. Visit our website to sign up today, www.firstwavefamilies.org.
Hi, this is Jimmy Hoppa inviting you to join us as we take the cross to the country. Christian country and Southern gospel, all to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Taking the cross to the country, Sunday mornings at 8 on Coast Country, sponsored by Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling.
Monday at 4 on Coast Life. A local program is changing young lives with 24/7 support with mentorship and tutoring. Plus, step inside an exclusive gym with top-tier training and equipment. Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro.
the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Lasercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Lasercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Lasercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Why settle for any meal deal when you can have one you really want? Wawa's $5 Big Breakfast Deal gets you any Sizzly breakfast sandwich, any size hot or iced coffee, and a hash brown, all for just $5. Now featuring our new French Toast Sizzly. Mornings made easy. Gotta have a Wawa.
The Brandywine Valley SPCA is taking part in this year's Do More 24 Delaware Giving Day. It's a one-day campaign across all of Delaware. It starts at 6 p.m. on Thursday, March 6th. It goes until 6 p.m. on Friday, March 7th. All donations will be matched dollar for the 24 fundraising event. Well, according to data from the CDC, the worst flu season in the U.S. has seen in more than a decade may have reached its peak. On Friday, the agency published data showing flu activity is still elevated, but it has decreased for 2 consecutive weeks. Last week, there were more than 6 flu hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in the U.S. That's less than half as many as 2 weeks earlier, but still more than there have been at this point in the season in at least 15 years. The CDC expects several more weeks of flu activity. This was also the first season since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic that flu hospitalizations surpassed those from COVID-19. Well, today is Rare Disease Day. Around 300 million people are living with a rare disease globally. And while the day is about raising awareness, health experts are also applauding new efforts to better diagnose and treat these illnesses. That's something that was once thought to be impossible. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains how advancements in artificial intelligence are bringing hope to those with rare diseases.
They're conditions that often go undiagnosed or untreated. More than 7,000 rare diseases have been identified, and these illnesses can have a significant impact on a person's health and well-being.
It takes sometimes up to 15 years for individuals to get a diagnosis. So thinking about how long you live with just that uncertainty as to what is wrong, whether it's in your family member or in yourself, it's just a real burden.
Dr. Timothy Curry with Mayo Clinic says many times that uncertainty lingers because doctors haven't seen the health problem before or that issue doesn't fully fit with the condition's clinical characteristics. But he says artificial intelligence is now allowing for large amounts of data to help identify patterns in patients and analyze the entire set of DNA instructions found in a human cell.
Could we look through a large library of genome results along with medications and see if we could repurpose some of those medications? Because most of the time, 95% of the time, these rare diseases right now don't have a treatment.
Curry says these AI advancements are doing something once thought to be impossible. Improvements in diagnoses and the development of new treatments, bringing hope to those trying to help patients living with a rare disease.
It's a super exciting time to be in this area. Because for the first time, we really have tools that allow us to study things in ways we never were able to do.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And Curry says that while rare diseases individually are not common, having a rare disease isn't rare since millions of Americans suffer from something that has not been diagnosed.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
It may be the winter sports season, but football is taking center stage today at Cape Henlopen High School. After the departure of Mike Frederick from the sidelines, the school announced today that Chip Knapp will take over as the head coach of the Vikings. Coach Knapp has 30 years of coaching experience at Wesley College from 1989 to 2021. He then became the head coach of Dover from 2021 until January of 2024. During his time in the state capitol, he led the Senators to 3 Delaware state playoff appearances and a state finals berth in 2022. Chip Knapp joins a Cape football program which is coming off of a 6-5 regular season and 2 playoff berths in the prior 2 years, including a state title appearance. And over to the NBA, 76ers star center Joel Embiid has been ruled out for the remainder of the season due to a left knee injury that leaves him medically unable to play. Embiid tore his meniscus in February of 2024, and after undergoing surgery, he returned to the floor in April to compete in the playoffs. The former MVP's numbers have taken a noticeable hit since the injury. Embiid had averaged over 30 points per game in each of the prior 3 seasons, but only averaged 24 points per game in 19 games this season. The Sixers currently sit at 20-38 overall and 12th place in the Eastern Conference. Make sure to download the DSN app and subscribe to DSN Plus for all your local sports info. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Delmarva Sports Network updates can be heard on 93.5 The Beach.
Ready to upgrade your style? Visit buyatoyota.com or scan this QR code and start your journey today. From refined performance to elevated design and tech, your new Camry is waiting with deals just a click away. Right now, buy a new Toyota Camry with low 4.99% APR financing. Toyota, let's go places.
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow. Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696 or visit lizardflare.com now.
Who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra powerful suction. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust in the workshop. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com now.
Get out your phone and scan this QR code on your screen right now. You can sign up for Coast TV's weekly newsletter. We share personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. Plus, it's free. Now let's toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for one last check on the weather.
And I'm making sure that I scan the Feel Good Friday thing because I need to make sure I know what's happening on the weekends. Okay, so our Dry Tech crawl space camera, Ocean City, we're at 43 degrees. The winds are picking up momentum at about 13 miles per hour, but the winds are out of the south right now, so it's an okay, comfortable wind. Temperatures will stay in the mid-40s. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner, Peter Vadalaro of Dagsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And then finally, here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling 10-day forecast. Saturday's going to be breezy, but at least in the 60s. It's Sunday and Monday, particularly Sunday morning, you got to watch out for, because Sunday morning, when you wake up, it's going to feel like 5 degrees.
Ugh, okay, thank you, Paul. And thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more local news and weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6 p.m. Have a great night.